time. Bam, for 9 o'clock. We did it. We're putting it an hour late today because of the challenges with travel. Now, in the Bible, you know, this is a Bible study. For those who are joining us first time, on Monday nights I try and do something called Monday School. And Monday School is like Sunday School, but on Mondays. And it is in those moments that we find that it is Monday night school is where we can try and give you some biblical principles that will help you to achieve more, live better, have greater success. So that is what I want to do with everybody here today. I want to thank all of you for joining me on Periscope, all of you have joined me on Google+, and hopefully we'll be able to see it on YouTube because of both of these technologies. For those, I have been trying to do a Monday School every Monday night around 8 o'clock if my travel allows it. And I want to give people just something free that will bless them, that will inspire them, that will encourage them, that will lift their spirit. So tell your friends, swipe down on Periscope, or folks on Google+, put the word out real quick, send an email to people to join us on Google Hangout, or my Google Hangout. So we are in and at it. Now, we want to talk about perspective. Perspective is looking at it from God's view. See, we look at things from our view, which is so limited. But when we look at things from God's view, we see a bigger picture. And when we see the bigger picture, we get to understand that it's not the minutia, the minute parts that make the difference. It's the bigger picture. I love to tell the story. I might have told y'all a story before about the gentleman going through the Turkish market with his wife. They come upon a lady who is making a Turkish rug, and she's making a knot, a stitch and then a knot, a stitch and then a knot. And there were a bunch of little knots in the back of the rug. And the husband and wife were looking over her shoulders. This doesn't look like much of anything. But the lady, her broken English, realized what they were saying and said, not finished, not finished, wait a minute. And she said, okay, okay, okay. And she did a couple more stitches, a couple more knots, a couple more stitches, a couple more knots. And then she threw the rug down face up, and it was gorgeous, glorious. She said, now finished. And what that says is that it looks like knots and bumps is really a masterpiece being created. You know, Eric Wall is a great painter who is also a motivational speaker. I love his work because what he does, he takes a canvas and he starts throwing stuff up on the canvas. Just paint. It looks like a mess until he flips it around, and it's a beautiful painting that he has devised upside down. Now, upside down, it looks crazy, but right side up, it looks fabulous. Many times we go through situations in our lives that look just crazy. They just look like, what's going on in our lives? What do we do? We look like the kid in Home Alone. But it's in those moments that if we would step back and take some perspective, we would see that God's working something together for us, something really, really good for us. And if we would just keep the faith, keep moving forward, keep trusting the Lord, He will show you that something good is going to come out of your head. Everybody knows my story, but those who've been on the Get Motivated, and by the way, if you've been in any of the good motivated cities, I want to say thank you for becoming a part of our network. And for those who are, I'm in Philadelphia for the Get Motivated tomorrow. Later this week we'll be in Boston. Next week we'll be in San Jose and Portland. We'll be in Kansas City and St. Louis. So for those who will be joining us, or you got friends, tell them to come and get part of that. But what I want to share with that is that for those who've heard me speak, you know my story. I was fired and replaced by a karaoke machine. I was a broke, busted nightclub singer. I was just making ends meet. I got replaced by a karaoke machine. It was so challenging. I didn't know what to expect. I was like this. What am I going to do? I got a wife and 2 children. I got a house. I got a mortgage. I got all these bills. Oh my goodness! But I decided to look at it from another perspective. Maybe God is working something together for my good. You know, Romans 8:28 really is true. That for we know that all things work together for good for them that love the Lord and are the called according to His purpose. How do we know that? We know that what things are going to happen in the future by looking at what things happened in the past. God broke brought you through in the past. You're still here. That says a lot. You're still here. You got some challenges and situations, some circumstances, but you're still here. So I want to encourage you to look at it from another perspective. Let me tell you how the book of James, I love how the book of James says it. In the book of James, it says, my brother, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him give to God, and who gives to us all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith, with no doubting. For he who doubts is like a wave on the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. I want to encourage you that you might be going through the tough times. You might be going through a tough moment. You might be having a challenging situation in your life. I don't know whether it might be one of the devastating D's. You know, D's are divorce, disease, downsizing, disaster. One of the D's that people go through. I was in South Carolina this weekend. They've been overwhelmed with water. They've been flooded. And let me tell you what happened to me. We were with our friends who live in Chapin, South Carolina, which is north of Columbia, and which is higher ground. And so we had no impact except a lot of rain. It was a lot of rain. They live on a lake, and the lake water was hot, was closer to their home, but it still wasn't a problem. They didn't have to boil their water. We still went out and had a great day on Friday, playing golf. You know, people in Columbia were dealing with floods, but we were doing okay. And on Saturday, we went to a wedding in Johnston, and it rained there too, but it was beautiful. It was a beautiful wedding. But on Sunday morning, I was going to go to the St. Andrew's Baptist Church to speak and give some ideas. We put my coat in his car, which had his car cover over it, and we put my jacket in and put it in the back seat. We got to the church. I pulled my jacket back, and it was soaked. It was soaked so much water that I pulled it out of the car and it dripped water. Wow. What do you do then? Perspective. Do I get upset with him because his car was wet? No. Do I get upset with the world because my jacket is wet and I'm getting ready to go to church and give a message and sing? No. I said, well, you know what? It's okay. So what I did was I took the jacket, I took it in those big fans, put it on the fan, and said, let it do what it does. But I was willing to tell the truth when I got on stage and told people the jacket's a little damp, but my spirits are warm and high because it's all about perspective. It's okay. This is all I had to deal with where other people lost their homes. Some lost their lives. I am grateful that I can now have a testimony that this water was very challenging, but we still got to be able to trust God. I want to encourage you during this time to trust God and remember that it's true that count it all joy, even the trials and tribulations, because it produces something in you that will help you through and help you grow and help you succeed. Have the faith that you can look at things not so close, where you try to see it look kind of blurry, but put it from back at a distance. Get a breath and say, okay, it's going to be all right. I'm going to trust God through this. And I believe he's making that stitch, making that knot. It looks kind of messy right now, like Eric Wall's paintings, until he flips them upside down, and they are beautiful masterpieces. There's a masterpiece being made in you. Trust God, have faith, and have patience. Amen. 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 Hit it. Let me see them little hearts. All right. Thank you for the hearts. Now, amen. Amen and amen. Now, I would encourage you to do two things as I ask. If this has been a blessing to you, this short Monday school message. Now, I'm taking a lot of your time. I know everybody got busy schedules. Then I ask two things. tell more people to join us on Monday night. Just keep it open. Monday night, as time goes on. Next Monday night, I'm going to be flying. I know I won't be able to be on 8 o'clock because at 8 o'clock, I'll be in the air. But if you will just stay tuned. I'm trying to find a time to do a message for you next week. It might have to be next Tuesday because I'll be in San Jose and then in Portland. So I would encourage you to tell lots of people to join us. That's number one. Number two, go to jollygoodnews.org. That's my faith-based site, jollygoodnews.org. And when you go there, get some of the programs, watch some of the videos, and do something special. A lot of people I know, and I told a lady this other day, are dealing with cancer. We have a special piece on that on the left side to bless people with cancer. People I had on my XM show who had stage 4 cancer, and each one of them beat cancer, and they tell how they did it. So tell people to go to the site, listen to those interviews. I give them away free to encourage people to let them know that it's possible, that if they get a diagnosis, that's not the end of their story. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Don't pitch the tent. To just keep the faith. So get the things that are there for you, the resources. And if these things are a blessing to you, make a donation. We're raising money, and I contacted the Bureau of Prisons this week, and I told the lady just simply, I want to give books to the prisoners. I just want to bless them, put books in the prisons, set up for combat. She said, well, how much you want to charge? I said, did I mention money to you? I'm going to raise the money through people in my network. We're going to raise the money, get them printed in paperback version so that we can donate 2 copies and an audio copy to every prison facility, every men, women, children, youth, juvenile justice, every kind of prison or penal institution, so that they can know that past does not equal their future, and that they could made a mistake, but they can turn it around and never go back to those prisons except to visit and to encourage the others. So that's our goal. So God bless you. I've been praying for you today. I went to the day of prayer at the Lincoln Memorial where my pastor John Jenkins did the opening prayer. But I was there I wasn't there to participate. I was there just to pray. I was praying for you that God would bless you, and he would keep you, and to put his arms around you, and that he bless your family and your finances and your health. So I'm praying for you. Please pray for me that God would do great things and use me in a way that he sees fit. I hope you have a great day, a great week, a great month on purpose, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day and much continued success. I'm doing a short one tonight because we're in the hotel room, and I want to make sure I don't keep people too many times. But God bless you. Thank you. Thank you all who have signed on. And remember, tell folks about it Monday nights, and tell them also to follow me on Google+, on Twitter, and so they'll know when it's coming. And last but not least, if these programs and tools are a blessing, go to Jolly Good News. Look at some of the resources there, my Crystal Cathedral, different churches I've spoken at, different interviews, and all of that just blesses you. Make a donation so we can make a difference in someone's lives. Have a great day, a great evening. I'll talk to you soon. We're in the book of James. Oh, book of James. James chapter 1, verse 3. Or actually 2. Chapter 1, James 1, verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy. Okay? Glad you caught me before we got off. Any other messages? By the way, that's the good thing about Periscope. I can talk to you. I can look at it and what you're saying to me, and I can answer a question. You got a question or something? Feel free to say it real quick before we sign off for the night. I'm just so grateful for all of you. And finally, we got internet here in the room because we couldn't get it for a while, and able to have some folks on Google+. So that's it. Love you. God bless you. Praying for you. Pray for me. See you soon.